My name is Danny.
I'm Danny.
And welcome
to
Soup Troop Online.
Online.
We are so excited for this episode, you guys.
We have such a wonderful lineup for you and some awesome guests, and we are just so excited.
So a little bit about Soup Troop for those of you who are first timers. Soup Troop was started at Frenchwood's Festival for the Performing Arts by Danny and I and our good friend Cole Reitschner in the ripe year of 2017. We thought that it was unfair, that there were so many soups being talked about that being made. The coronavirus pandemic, we decided to move our platform online to bring soups to you guys around the world today.
So, since we are approaching the Thanksgiving season, Danny, I was just wondering, what soups are you thankful for?
What soups am I thankful for? I talk about this soup a lot here on Soup Troop, and I'm not ashamed to talk about it once more. I'm really a fan of a good mushroom brie soup. It's just like your classic broccoli cheddar, but instead of that cheddar, it's that brie, and instead of that broccoli, it's the mushroom, and it's so special. You have to make it in a pot, blend it in a blender, put it back in the pot, simmer it, boil it. It's so much work for even more payoff, and that soup is really what I am looking forward to. Having a kitchen when I go home for Thanksgiving. That is the first thing I'm making. What about you, Danny?
Danny, that was a beautiful story. It just warmed my soul, even hearing about it. Now I'm in the mood for some mushroom brie.
Always.
A soup that I'm really thankful for in this holiday season is, when I go home, we usually have a Thanksgiving soup, and my mom likes to make some butternut squash. And I'm just feeling really excited and thankful to be able to have that soup when I return home. So that's what I'm excited for. It's a nice fall festive soup. So I would have to go with that one.
That sounds like an amazing choice. So we are so excited today to have two very special guests here. They are both amazing, and one of them is coming on right now. Her name is Diamond Essence White. She is an LIU graduate, the homeland of Danny and I. We did the same theaters. We were just talking about it. She was in Dear Evan Hansen on Broadway as the cover for Alana and Zoe. You must see her and everything. You must follow her on the Instagrams. We are so excited to welcome Diamond Essence White.
Hi!
We
are so excited for you to be here.
I'm so excited to be here and talk about soups.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you so much for coming on our show.
Of course.
So, our first question that we like to ask all of our guests is, what is your favorite soup memory?
Oh, wow. My favorite soup memory? I think it would have to be like an Easter about a while ago. Like I was still in high school, and my aunt made this corn chowder that with like shrimp in it, and I was blown away. I'd never tasted anything like it, and to this day, whenever I think about it, it just brings me serotonin and makes me smile. So that is my favorite soup memory.
I love that.
Yeah.
So we know that you were the understudy for Zoe and Alana on Broadway in Dear Evan Hansen. So can you talk a little bit about that and what that was like? And if, you had a surprise performance, what soup helped you, get ready for the role? If soup didn't come into play, what soup, would help you next time?
So it was crazy. That was my first time understudying two roles, like really being an understudy period, and I was on Broadway for the first time. So it was like, insane, but it was so fun. I always say like theater's like kind of feels the same no matter where you do it, and that was like the biggest surprise because like I was like, oh my god, I'm on Broadway and it feels like I'm back at CAP on Long Island, or like it just feels the same. It was an amazing experience, and I got to like work with Michael Bryce, who like I was obsessed with Rent when I was a teenager, so I was like, this is wild. This is so like full circle. It's insane. But I did have a few surprise performances where I had to like go on mid-show, like I think twice, or I think it was twice. Maybe it was 3 times. I don't really remember, but like, and my comfort soup is always clam chowder. So like, if I was able to have a clam chowder before I had to go on mid-show, that would have been wonderful because I was stressed.
Absolutely.
That sounds delicious.
Yeah.
So we know that you went to LIU Post, where Danny and I are both from. I live like 5 minutes away from LIU, so we're both very familiar with the area. And we were wondering, like, are there any places that you could recommend to us to get some soups? Like any local Long Island soup places that you've been?
I actually haven't been to any local Long Island soup places. So maybe you guys could like recommend some to me for when I like go back. But actually like I saw like a lot of like Soup Man in your intro. I was only introduced to Soup Man like maybe 2 years ago, and it is incredible. So
Life changing.
yeah.
Soup Man and Panera and Harold Hardy here at Soup Troop and Bordeaux.
Party.
Already so
Those are really
Panera. We're big Panera people here on Soup Troop. If you've been to more than one episode, you know we love Panera here.
We have a whole stream of photo shoots in front of Bordeaux Broth Company in the city, which is that insane broth. You must try it.
I must.
So
I would say LIU had some decent soup sometimes.
really,
Sometimes. You know, college food hit or miss, but sometimes they had some good ones.
yeah. I'm at Ryder right now, and I just ordered a broccoli cheddar soup for after the episode. So
yeah, here at my school too, soups are amazing. I have them almost every day. It has really like just fostered my love for soup, which like is so crazy because I go to my dining hall and all the food's terrible, and then you have soup and you're like,
yeah,
oh my God.
Yeah.
I get that.
We also know that you do some singing impressions, and we didn't really relate this one to soup, but we had to ask. Could you maybe do some Medina, some Demi for us right now?
Oh my God. Oh man, I wish I was warm. See. Let's try an Adina. I haven't done it in so long. I should probably take off my resume because I've not practiced. Snow glows away on the mountain tonight, not a footprint to be seen. A kingdom of isolation, and it looks like I'm the queen. The wind is howling like this swirling storm inside. Couldn't keep it in, heaven knows I tried.
That was
so amazing. That just made my whole month. If I closed my eyes, I would swear to you that was Adina right there.
It used to be way better, like when I like practiced it all the time. So maybe I should like get back to practicing that. But
it was really great. Thank you for doing that for us. I know we put you on the spot a little bit, but
it's totally cool.
So our next question is, how has Broadway changed your life? And are there any soups that helped you get there? Like what has the influence on Broadway like been for you?
How Broadway has changed. I think it's like changed like my outlook on like the industry as a whole, seeing it from a completely different side, a side that I'd never seen before. Like you view Broadway like before you get there, when you're just dreaming of it, you view it as this like grand standard, right? You view it as this like amazing thing that you hope to achieve, and like getting there, it was like, wow, this is so normal. Like this is so like the theater community is just amazing in that way, where it just feels like right at home all the time. So like instead of like, because we have this thing where we like see, I was in the show with a lot of big names. We have this thing where we like see them as like just people who are way ahead of you, when like they are you, they're people. And so I guess like it helps to ground me in a way, to understand that like they all started where I started. We're all in this together. We're in the same show together, so we're like really on kind of the same plane, and it helps to like reaffirm like that, you know, I'm meant to be here if I'm like in this plane with these people. But also like I think Broadway changed my life in a lot of ways. It like showed me a lot about myself, because like there's a like kind of it's a different way than like any other theater that I've experienced, and it like really forced me to hold up a mirror to myself and like understand myself better as an actor. And understanding myself better as an actor helps me understand myself better as a person. So yeah. And some soup that some soup that helps with that. What is that like soup, what is that lobster place? Luke's Lobster, I think.
I love that place. The place, okay, it's in like the upstairs.
Yeah.
With like all the other, what is that called?
City Kitchen.
City Kitchen, yes.
I remember the first time I had their like lobster, it's not a lobster bisque, but it's like a lobster something. I ordered it all of the time. I mean, all of the time. So like, if there's one soup you can like link with my dear Evan Hansen experience, it's the Luke Lobster's lobster bisque.
You just changed. I didn't know they had soup there.
Oh, it's so good. You must.
They also have a ramen place in City Kitchen, if I'm not mistaken. There is ramen and like a really good donut place, not related to soup, but the donuts there, very, very good. Chef's kiss.
Yeah. I love City Kitchen. I miss City Kitchen. God, this quarantine needs to end. Okay.
So, we know that you are an activist in the theater community, and we are wondering, are there any soups that inspire you to make change? Are there any soups that help you use your voice? You know, if a soup could, which would it be?
Maybe a lentil soup would do that for me. If it's made the right way. Not all lentil soups are good. Because they're hearty and they make you feel full and give you the energy you need to perform your activism. So I will go with lentil soup.
I love that. Well, it is time, everyone, for the Q&A section. So if you have a question for Diamond Essence White, leave it in that comment section below. We will be sure to get to it if there is time. We have to go straight into this. Ellie Perlman says, what soup leaves you absolutely speechless, makes your words fail, if you will?
Oh. Quoting Evan Hansen. It's gonna be that Luke's lobster bisque. Words fail, literally. Sobbing on the stage with Evan with lobster bisque.
Like a bowl of like lobster bisque, maybe in like a blue polo shirt, just sitting there on the table.
True. I can imagine Jordan Fisher like having it right before he goes out, just to like prep for the tears that are about to come.
Yeah, or like Neon and Zoe that one time, and I'm like crying into my soup and eating it before I run.
Jordan Elizabeth 08 says, what's your favorite Panera soup?
I really like their chicken noodle. It's really good. Yeah.
Classic.
Eliana Groovman says, noodles and soup or no?
I don't mind it. I like it. Why
yeah,
not?
Chicken noodle. So we're going John. And says, if it could be us and only us, for us is soup, what soup is us?
Oh God. I don't even know how to answer that. Potato week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That feels right.
Your Evan Hansen quotes are killing me over here. I'm really enjoying it.
Honestly, they're so creative.
Oh, yeah.
Kudos to you. That is so creative.
Kyle Green says, have you been able to share your love of soup with your puppy yet?
No, she's a baby. She can't have soup yet.
Not yet. Well,
maybe later in her life she can maybe indulge.
Yeah, but she's a baby right now and she's crying. But my brother.
This next one is a monologue. Ned Way says, you know that movie with bedtime stories with Adam Sandler? Oh my. Gumball's rain from the sky in the film. We remake it with you as Sandler. Soup is falling. What soup do you choose to fall from the sky? I love that was the one he chose for food falling.
Oh God. Minestrone.
Ooh. Yum. I feel like that's an underappreciated soup. We don't really talk about it much on Soup Troop, but like, yes.
Yeah.
And I feel like you're right. I feel like I wouldn't want to go outside when it's like raining and like taste, I don't know, like a lobster.
Creamy soup. Creamy soup, I would feel icky, you know.
Heavy, it would.
Yeah, and it's like soothing minestrone. That feels right. Emma Baker says, how do you feel about soup dumplings? Yay or nay?
I've actually never had I've never had.
You have to try them. They're so good.
I've seen people eat them, and I'm like, I have to try that one day, but I've never got to it.
It is a big yes from me. I love soup dumplings. They're so yummy. They're so good.
Nayara A says, in your opinion, what is the most underappreciated soup?
I don't know. Maybe a split pea.
I was thinking that. That was my thought.
Yeah, I think it's it's a little underappreciated. It's good.
I agree with you there. Split pea is very good, but a lot of people think it's gross, but
Yeah.
it is delicious if it is made right. 100%.
Oh, yeah. And our final question for this section is from Trevor Shingler. He says, if your tears were soup, what soup would they be?
I don't know. Oh God, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know.
That's okay. It's a pretty tough question.
Because now you're thinking
It
like
really stumped us.
it's gotta be good for your pores. Like it's gotta.
Yeah, but then I'm also thinking like tears are usually salty. So
Yeah.
like a saltier. I don't know.
Maybe like a broth, like because I
Yeah.
feel like it would just be a simple,
Yeah.
you're like soup.
Yeah. Like a maybe like a beef broth.
Yeah.
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 All right. Well, that is all the time we have for our Q&A section. So thank you so much, Diamond, for being with us today. You were such a phenomenal guest. And be sure to go out and see Dear Evan Hansen whenever Broadway comes back. But thank you so much again for talking about soup with us, and go enjoy soup with your puppy, and maybe not feed soup to your puppy yet, but whenever she's ready.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you guys. Bye.
Will everyone at home join us in giving Diamond a 1, 2, 3.
We're here for you.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I love that.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Guys, that was Diamond Essence White. You simply must follow her on all of the social medias. It is at Diamond Essence White on Instagram. We will see you there. We will be checking.
All right. Wow, that was so much fun. And now I'm thinking about what soup my tears would be. That was a really great question section. I want to thank all of you for your creative input. You really made me lose it there. So thank you for that.
Absolutely. I just want to feature a question before we move on. It's from Christina Wergiles. She says, I took the most delicious matzo ball soup at the diner. Actually took an additional quart home for later.
Wow. Well, Christina, you enjoy that soup, Mom. Okay, you really enjoy it. For those of you who don't know, that is my mother. Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining today. So we have another special guest here we are so excited about. Ladies and gentlemen, let's make it known here on Soup Troupe at 1:22 p.m. that this guest is the first guest in Soup Troupe history to ask us to be on Soup Troupe. We were honored. We were amazed. We were floored. I called Danny screaming and crying. And we are so excited to do this. So we have to introduce Jennifer Apple. She was most recently Anna on the national tour of A Band's Visit, and she will be when we can do that safely again. She was also on NBC's New Amsterdam. She was Heather in You Matter to Me, and she was in the original cast of Theory of Relativity, which has the cast recording. You must listen to it. Amazing. And she also is the founder of the Empowered Artist Collective. We are so excited to talk about all of that and some soups with her today. Please welcome Jennifer Apple.
It's me. Hello.
We are so happy to have you here. You are one of our most enthusiastic soup guests. We're so
Listen, soup is a big deal. It's a big deal. So thank you for having me and for having this platform to talk about the gorgeousness of soup. So I'm here for it.
We're here.
Oh, for sure. we are also here for you. So our first question that we ask all of our guests is, what is your favorite soup memory?
Oh boy. I feel like soup is a huge part of my childhood. My mom, I know everybody says my mom makes the best soup, but like truly though, my mom makes the best soup. Like anyone who would ever come to my house would know my mom's soup and or request it. And not only does she always make like one soup, she'll make a variety of soup and give people options. So like we're talking about like soup central. Oh yeah, no jokes. But I think the most memorable is, or through line of memorability, whatever, is chicken noodle soup. My mom's matzo ball soup, which I just saw your mom post about, is to die for. Her matzo balls themselves are like, floaters, no sinkers. Like we're talking about like, just like pieces of chicken. It's just so good. Like truly chicken soup for the soul.
Oh yeah. That sounds amazing.
Yeah, it's great.
So, speaking of your love for soup, we have to only assume, as on tour of the country, that you tried soup from all over. So we have a three-part question for you. Number one is, what is your favorite tour soup? Part two is, what city is your favorite, tour soup city? And number three, if Anna in a band's visit was your soup, which soup would she be and why?
Wow. It's so funny. The one that I'm recalling, the soup that I'm recalling on tour was one of the worst soups I've ever had in my life. So I don't know if that's like worth discussing. Can I like reverse the question? Because that just keeps popping into my brain. We were in Toronto and it was between a 2-show day and I was craving soup. It was like it was around this time last year, I guess. So like fallish, it was just perfect soup weather. And I was like, this is the day, this is the time. Really, really want ramen. Like I'm feeling a bowl of ramen. And me and a castmate went literally wandering for ramen. And we could not find a good ramen place. So we settled, and I say that intentionally, settled on this other place. And the soup that I got was supposed to be something and it was not. And then when I asked about what it was, they couldn't tell me. And it ended up being, how do I explain this? Like, I know this isn't your question, but it's what I chose to be. Like this, if you took tomatoes and you watered them down to their essence without any sort of substance, so it was just like tomato drizzle as your broth, was like exactly those like that was the feeling that I had. And it was really, really remarkably sad. And I've never left a restaurant feeling so depleted, because your expectations of just like warmth were not only like you didn't meet that, but you also left like now hungrier. So that wasn't your question, but that would be the worst soup. That sounds like
a really traumatic story. And I
agree. I maybe feel like I've been holding on to that, and this was the space I needed to share it. Yeah. The favorite soup spot on tour, Chicago had some dope soup.
Really?
Chicago had some really good food. I mean, it's like, a good city. So Chicago had some really good food, had some good soup there. I think again, it also depended on like where we hit seasonally with the tour, that I'd be like, their soup would be on the docket. So Chicago was probably a good one. And Anna, if she were soup, she'd have some spice in it. So I'm thinking, it would have to be like some sort of exotic-y, spicy, fun. Feel free to like throw examples, because I'm trying to like put it together in my brain. Like it feels like it would be probably like a meat base. Okay. And then, or maybe not. Maybe it's like a French onion. Even though that's not obviously Middle Eastern or Mediterranean, but I feel like there's something about like the cheese being like kind of sexy and like bubbly, like feels right. It's always like a little, like the more you unpeel it, you're not sure how big a piece of bread you're going to have in there, or like what onions are in, like the content is hidden. So you kind of have to dig a little, but like it can be really surprising. And then like the crispiness of the cheese on top is like, that feels right.
Yeah. Everyone's making me so hungry today. Like I appreciate it, but at the same time, like I'm a little hurt because now I'm gonna like go and have a soup somewhere to like
snap. Yeah. No, I feel that. Those are good questions. I know I didn't answer one of them, but c'est la vie.
No, okay. So we know that you are a coach, not only an actor, but you've also been coaching a lot of students. And when you are coaching, we were wondering if there's any soups that you would recommend them before an audition or a performance. What is like a good soup that can get your students ready?
Yeah, I think it depends on who you are and what you're auditioning for, right? If you need to have like a full stomach and feel really grounded and like rooted, then give yourself like a lentil or like a split pea, I know was mentioned, something that's like hearty so that you like, if you need to feel like really bright and like awake and aware, then perhaps something like a little bit more festive and light, like, yeah, like a minestrone feels fun, or like, what's a fun soup? I'm trying to think of like like a butternut squash, right? Like I'm awake and present. If you're somebody that needs to get like a little bit more serious and heartfelt, maybe like a chicken noodle, maybe like a beef broth of some capacity, something that like, yeah. So I feel like it really depends on what you're auditioning for, but finding a soup that will allow your body and mind to kind of be focused on what you need to be focused on.
I love that.
Thank you.
So I like not like save for later. So we heard that you have a love for seltzer. It's a little rumor going around the industry. So we were wondering if you could carbonate a soup, which soup would that be?
Ooh, weird. That would be strange. Ooh, like what would be good bubbly? It would have to be sweeter, right? Like it would have to be a sweeter soup. So maybe something with like apples in there. Like if you had like a butternut squash apple soup or something, like something that feels a little bit more like happy.
Yeah.
Because like, wouldn't it be strange to have like a bubbly broccoli soup? Like that's bizarre.
Yeah, it would.
A bubbly?
Listen, yeah.
I get it. I have an addiction to seltzer as well.
I mean, I have a soda stream. We have trunks on tour, and our trunks were not big. They were not big, the big trunks, like not the exciting trunks. And you really had to be a master or, chess and a Tetris player to like move stuff around appropriately. And the majority of my trunk was my soda stream. Like we are not messing around. No messing. No.
Oh my goodness, I love that.
Okay.
We know that you just started the Empowered Artists Collective, which is absolutely incredible. And it's so inspiring that you are empowering women everywhere in the arts. As a woman in the arts, I feel like represented and so happy that you started this. And my question for you is, if you were to choose a soup to empower your artists, what would be like your empowering soup?
Yeah. Ooh. Again, I feel like a soup situation is really individualized. And I think especially in Empowered Artists Collective, it really is about, we are a collective of individuals, and therefore holding the individual in that collective is of paramount importance. So I feel like prescribing one soup to everyone is actually doing a disservice, because then you're not empowering each person where they're at, which is the whole purpose, right? So I think I'm gonna, again, like, I know I'm like talking around soups, but like I feel like if you are someone who needs to feel more self pride, then perhaps it's something that is more of like a comforting soup, right? And if you are somebody who needs to like empower yourself to ask for things more or to go after what you want, then perhaps it is like a hearty, like, let's do it. If it's somebody who really just needs to like give some joy and spread joy elsewhere, then perhaps that's also like a lighter soup. I could give options, but I know again I'm all answering your questions. I just feel like you know it's such an individualized thing, a soup taste situation, that I would feel guilty to like prescribe somebody the wrong one.
I love that.
Yeah.
That makes the most sense. I totally get that.
Thank you. Yeah. As I speak it out loud.
Experience is different. And that's what's beautiful about soup, you know?
Correct. You have to honor that, right? We have to honor that each of us have our own soups that speak to our hearts, and that is part of our journey.
Exactly. I love it. So this is the time for our Q&A section of this portion. We have our first question from Emma Baker. She says, if your first role in musical theater, chicken in a show you can't remember the name of, does that mean you are impartial to chicken-based soups?
Emma, thank you for checking out my website. They're pulled directly from my website in my little bio. So like kudos to you. I guess so, right? The chicken, what is the question itself was, what am I, what chicken would I'm partial to chicken-based soup.
Yeah.
Well, yes and no, because I'm kosher. So that that kind of is an interesting dynamic in that, you know, when I can't, for example, in a French onion soup, like if it's a beef broth, I can't do it if there's the cheese on top, right? So I love a chicken-based soup because I feel like it does add an element of like heartiness and protein. However, if there are other ingredients that conflict, it sometimes takes away. And also, I can't always go into a restaurant and like eat a chicken-based soup. So although I want the chicken-based soup, unless it's kosher, I can't have it. So my desire is for the chicken-based soups, but in practicality, so often, unfortunately, I'm unable to. So I really tend to have to do a lot more veggie-based.
Yeah.
Great question. Really thoughtful.
Yeah. Ellie Perlman says, you're stranded on an island, tropical. A volcano is erupting. You start to run. You realize that you're chasing you in not hot magma, but soup. What soup would you want to run full speed from an island?
Yeah, okay. It cannot be something thick. So it has to be a loose broth. Honestly, that tomato broth that I had in that Toronto land, that was non-substantial, that was loose and lacking in all flavoring. That would be it. And also, I feel like that'd be retribution. I get to run through it and escape this volcano through a soup that I did not want to be a part of to begin with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Mayara A says, if Walter were a soup, which soup would he be?
Walter's my dog. Walter is incredible. At Walter Apple _. Walter is, oh boy, great question, Mayara. He's a weirdo. So what's a weird soup? I feel like it would be he might be a cup of noodles. Oh, the reactions from both of you were like, oh.
I usually indulge in cup of noodles. Yeah. That's usually a frequent flyer for me.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Because it's everybody knows a cup of noodles and it warms your heart. It's not what you would seek, but when you find it, it usually hits the spot. And also you it makes you have to think about your life a little bit and giggle because you're probably in a dark place.
Yeah.
What type of dog do you have?
I'd bring him in here, but I was trying to keep him out so he didn't bother us. He is unclear. I'd have to do one of those DNA tests, but he's a rescue. He's probably a Spaniel Chihuahua mix, but he's adorable. You should absolutely check him out on the Insta worlds. I'm a huge fan of my dog.
We'll be sure to do that.
Yeah.
Eliana Groupman says, I know it's not soupy, but thoughts on Chicago-style popcorn. And then
great question.
Here's popcorn, and then LMM123 says, Chicago.
Wow. Okay, so much Chicago pride happening. I'm not a Chicago native, but cool Chicago. Yeah, I mean, popcorn all the time. I bought some flavored popcorn the other day, chocolate and caramel popcorn that I ate in one sitting. So yeah, popcorn is to soup in that you can see, it just feels hearty and fills your soul and you can eat it all and not feel guilty.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah.
This next one comes from Nedway. He says, soup fries. All of the insides of every apple in the world is replaced with soup. What soup would you want to pour out when you bite into an apple?
I love that you used my name, and I also love the imagery. Yeah, good question. Like, really good question. I guess like my further question to it is, am I eating the apple simultaneously with the soup? Right? Like if I have to take a bite, good, yay, Walter. If I'm gonna have to eat a bite of apple with the soup, then it has to go well with the apple, right? And I think if we're talking like Granny Smith versus, you know, like a red apple, like that's a very different profile texture situation. So I think if I'm going Granny Smith, that gives me a little bit more flexibility with like the bitterness versus like a red apple. In which case, I'm thinking of broccoli. Maybe like a broccoli and mushroom.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah.
Right? Like I don't know. I feel like if you bit into like an apple, a Granny Smith apple with that in mind, it kind of works maybe.
Yeah. I just tried it and it felt great.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm thinking like today on Soup Troop, we're learning so much that like circumstances are really important when enjoying a bowl of soup.
Yeah, I feel like that's my ethos.
Yeah.
But also every circumstance will work with a certain type of soup. You just have to like know where you are and how you're feeling, and then it can guide you down the soup path that you need to be part of.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Trevor Shingler says, should Garrett's popcorn come out with a soup flavored popcorn or popcorn soup? Thoughts?
I'd say more on the soup flavored popcorn, right? Because that would be like if you took some popcorn and you put some, you know, paprika and some Parmesan cheese and garlic on it, right? And then it becomes like flavored popcorn. I feel like we can flavor. There's also one at Trader Joe's that's like a pickled flavored popcorn. Is it that? There's something like a weird, you know what I'm talking about? Mm-hmm. Right. So I feel like the popcorn itself can lend itself to being soup flavored. I'm unclear the texture of popcorn in a bowl of soup.
I have a few things to add to this question.
Please.
Thank you, Trevor. First and foremost, you know those like pop things, like the circles that are like, they're like a popped, skinny, like pop like things. I don't know what they're called.
Mm-hmm.
But I've had one that was tomato soup flavored I actually had it at Frenchwoods Festival from the one and only Matt Wexler. He is gluten-free, so he has those circle popcorn things, and it was soup flavored, and it was delicious. It was amazing. It was like tomato soup flavored, and not only that, I have had popcorn in a soup before.
How does it work? Wouldn't it just like shrivel?
It kind of acts as like a crouton, you know?
But it doesn't lose its texture?
No, it depends on the speed in which you consume the soup. So like if you're doing it like you're speeding through, like it's like with cereal. You leave cereal and milk too long, it gets soggy. You got to just like eat it quick. But I've had it before, and it actually tastes pretty good. I don't remember exactly which soup, but I remember it was a really monumental moment. I was like, oh my God, there's popcorn in my soup. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a really cool restaurant. So when I went to grad school out in San Francisco, there's a restaurant out there. I'm blanking on its name. It was featured in one of those like Food Network shows, like the weirdest restaurants around the country. And it's all, oh my God, like fair, amusement park fair themed food. So everything that they have is like all like weird popcorns and like waffles, but it's all flavored in like weird carnival themed stuff. And one of the things that they have is popcorn that's flavored with, is it popcorn that's flavored with something, or is it cauliflower that's flavored like popcorn?
Ooh.
I don't remember, but either way, it's like we're blending stuff here in new ways that I wouldn't have thought about. And I feel like this soup situation with the popcorn would probably be there.
Yeah.
Yes.
For sure.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
I kind of want popcorn cauliflower.
That sounds
delicious.
I'm kind of you guys are really, really making me hungry today. This is an episode where I'm gonna need to have like a full soup meal after this.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Anna Spenley says, "Oh no, there is a supernatural phenomenon occurring and no one knows what is going on. Every time you put something in the oven, it magically transforms into soup. What soup does it turn into?"
This doesn't sound like a nightmare. This sounds like incredible.
Oh, yay.
Again, circumstantial is going to be the name of the game for me. But like, is this like a cold winter night or are we in the summer?
Yeah.
You know? So I'm going to say that we're in the holiday season. In which case, I think it actually might be a stew. Can we like equate a soup stew situation here? I'm feeling like a stew. Yeah, it would come out. That would be it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, that is all the time we have for questions today. So you've done it. Congratulations.
This has been so much fun. I'm feeling really inspired today. Like, thank you so much. That was wonderful.
Yeah. Thank you for having me. I'm so glad that I reached out to chat. It's just, I feel like I'm so often on an island where people don't get that soup is a food that is not just a category, but really a way of being. And it just feels nice to like find other people who recognize that and we could share that experience together. So thank you for giving me this platform to feel connected in my soup endeavors.
Absolutely. That was gorgeous.
Yeah, thank you.
Will everyone at home please join us in giving Jennifer Apple a 1, 2, 3.
We're here for you.
Yay.
Make sure that you follow Jennifer Apple on Instagram down below. Make sure that you check out A Band's Visit National Tour when it is up and running again. And also you can check out her coaching and the Empowered Artists Collective on her website or on her Instagram. Be sure to check it out. Those are all amazing things. And thank you again for being here at Soup Troupe today. It was a delight and a half. We are so happy that you joined us today. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Guys, you must follow her. That was Jennifer Apple. Again, she is at Jennifer Apple _ on the Instagrams, and the link to his Instagram is in her bio as well. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is that time of day where we have to wrap up our episode. But you liked it. You liked it. We loved
it. We didn't like it. We loved it. It was awesome.
So what can you do? You can, 1, follow Soup Troupe on Instagram at Soup Troupe Official. You can, 2, follow Soup Troupe on Facebook at Soup Troupe Online. Or 3, like and subscribe down below. You know you want to. Yeah.
Amazing. You can read more about Soup Troupe online on Broadway World, and the link is in the description below. And thank you so much again for joining us.
That being said, I am Danny.
And I'm Danny. And thank you for watching Soup Troupe Online. Ready? Everyone at home, join us in a 1, 2, 3. Have a super day.
Yay. Bye, guys. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the first official day of Soup Club.
So Soup Club is where we get the soup at lunch and we talk about it. My opinion was that I enjoyed the broth. It was too thin. I didn't get enough of it.
The spice is actually healthy for all soup today. That's no more true. That's why.
I give it a 3 out of 5 stars. 3 spoons. I give this a solid 3.75. 4.5.
3 spoons. Soup Troupe is really inclusive, and Soup Troupe is a place where everybody can just come and talk about soup when it's good, and also complain about soup when it's bad, because we all deserve a good bowl of soup in our lives.
Danny, Soup Troupe!
I'm Danny.
And I'm Danny. 1, 2, 3.
We're here for you!
It's gonna be really hot.
Thank you, Soup Troupe.
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 My name is Danny.
And I'm Danny, and welcome to Soup Troupe Online.
Oh, hi there.
Oh, hi.
Hi. What's up?
Hello.
Hi. Hi. Hey.
Oh, guys, I'm so excited to be on Soup Troupe.
Super